Great, we are live. Hello, everybody. Today, who we have is the co-founder of Learn Coach, David Cameron, and who was also the Young New Zealander of the Year 2018. Not so young anymore, I guess.
That's
Not in
right.
that
Yeah.
category anymore. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Suki, and I am a certified life and professional coach based in New Zealand, helping ambitious professionals to redefine their grind. And welcome to my Saturday live sessions, where I interview founders and change makers who are following their passion and who have redefined their grind. And let's hear about all the challenges that they have along their way as well. So who we have today is Dave Cameron, like I said, the Young New Zealander of the Year of 2018, and who is also the co-founder of LearnCoach.com, which is a learning platform for secondary and tertiary students to inspire them to a better future. Learn Coach started in 2012, in 2012 with 150 students per year checking out their online tutorials to now about over 150,000 students per year. And these students have watched more than 1 million tutorials online each year. Have I got the figures right, Dave?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's amazing. So let's have a warm welcome for Dave Cameron. Yay! Welcome.
Thanks very much.
Learning is hard because as a coach as well, like it,
Mm,
putting an effort to get somewhere that we want is hard work, and there's
yeah,
no easy way about it, really. if
yeah, yep,
we want
yep,
to make a
that's right.
change, we need to do it consistently enough to have that change
Yeah,
happen. Yeah. So like, how does Learn Coach to make learning simple, because that's one of your vision, making learning simple and inspiring them as well, like
mm,
how does that happen? I'm so curious.
yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing is that actually, you know, this it started off with this phenomenon of I remember I was sitting an exam in year 11 and the stuff just seemed so hard to me. And I studied and I was really proud of myself for figuring out these really hard questions. And a year later, when I was doing the next year's maths, and I looked back at this algebra stuff and I was
Mm,
like, it's so easy. How did I find this so hard last year? And I didn't, it's just when you move on and you look back, it's kind of like how learning your times tables is so hard as a kid, but when you get better and better at it over time,
mm,
it just seems really basic. And the crazy thing I realized is I was like, oh, everything's like that. So I kept thinking it would be so nice if instead of having to wait a year after the exam for it to feel
yes.
simple, if it could feel simple while you're learning it, or like during the exam or even before the exam. And so that was the kind of goal when I was teaching is stuff feels really simple when you know it, but it feels
Yes.
so scary and hard when you don't know it. And so a
Yes.
lot of it was just making this unknown new stuff feel a lot more familiar to people. And when it
uh,
felt familiar to people, they were like, oh, once you know it seems simple. So it was the strangest thing was actually getting people, the hardest part actually was getting people started. So in maths, which is the most obvious, if you don't know it, you really don't know it, and your
yeah.
mark is definitely wrong. And when you know it, you definitely know it, and you're always right. So it's very one or the other. And
Yes.
so the interesting thing was people who didn't like maths, they would go in and they would think, oh, this is hard. I just don't know how to do it. And it was like, that's fine.
Yes.
Just try and do step one. And it's all, like, it doesn't matter if you get it right or wrong, just do step one. And then when they're like, oh, I can do step one, it's like, why not try step two? They do step
Yes.
two and then step three and then they're done kind of thing. They're like, oh, I did the whole thing. And it's like, oh, could you, why not just try again, do another step one? And after a while, it was like they learned by doing it instead of worrying about
Mm,
whether they could or couldn't do it. And I thought it
yes.
was a really interesting thing because once people did it and saw that they could do it and got that positive feedback, I didn't need
Mm,
to do any motivating. It became very motivating
right.
for them inherently to be like, wow, I'm good at this. I can do this. This is
Yes.
great. So it kind of unleashed their own kind of intrinsic motivation, which was really surprising to me, to be honest. And the second thing was they they kind of got a whole lot of confidence by doing it. So
Mm,
actually were prepared next time they felt like I don't know how to do this. They're like, it's okay, I'm just going to try step one, then step two,
yes.
then step three. And so it meant that it was kind of an interesting metaphor because the hardest part was just people got too overwhelmed to just
Yes.
try and do one step at a time. And I think I see it all the time in my life right now. When I was teaching with lots of other students, the same thing would happen. But now in a company, if I'm facing a difficult decision or
Mm,
looking at the future when you just don't know how things are going to play out, it's interesting.
mm.
It's like just one step at a time. And once you've done it a few times, it starts to feel really easy.